Doc Talk. Yeah, we keeping it smooth. Your favorite paralegal got the legal groove. From the stars in the courtroom to your cousin's case, we breaking it all down. No rush, just pace. Hey, it's your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk 24/7. Hope you guys are having an awesome Friday. Y'all, so I was going through the State Fair of Texas lineup because I was trying to figure out who's going to come out and bless our stages. And I came across Brian Mcknight, and I was like, didn't he say a while ago that he was going to sue Jaguar Wright? And y'all know I've been off the scene for a minute, and I did a little search and found that indeed he sued Jaguar. Now, the crazy part is he did not just sue her in one state. He sued her in 3 states. How that's possible, I don't know because I don't think that you can file suit for the same thing in federal district court, but maybe I'm just wrong, but it happened. So there is a lawsuit in Texas in the district court. There is a lawsuit, well, there was. There's a lawsuit in Nevada and there is a lawsuit in California, all in the district federal courts. And the reason being is because he believed that's where she was residing during those times. So there's 3 cases, well, technically 2 now, that are currently in motion. However, they are having a hard time finding where she is at. Now, I have been off the scene, like I said before, for a minute, so I don't know if Jaguar has been, coming on Facebook Live or Instagram or YouTube, or if she is just right now running from these lawsuits. So let's tap on in and let me give you guys a breakdown of why your girl was sued. So, what we have here on the screen are the lawsuits. The first one, this is in the Nevada court. Now, all of them, I believe, was filed. Let me see. This was filed on the 30th. So, either on the 29th or the 30th of April, these cases were filed in Nevada, California, and Texas. Now, all of the complaints pretty much say the same thing. So, I'm not going to read all 3 of the complaints. I'm just going to read the Nevada complaint only because that is the one that came out first. But I do want to bring to your attention that in the Texas case in the Dallas division, he had until August 29th to get her served, and it did not happen. And let me tell y'all the process of how this works. So, the first thing you have to do is you have to ensure that you have a physical address for the defendant. If you do, then you hire a process server or the constable or sheriff. They go out and they serve a copy of the complaint. However, in this particular case, they didn't have an address. And if they did and they attempted service, then the service was not effective because obviously she wasn't there. So you only have so many attempts. After that fails, then you have to motion the court to ask if they were allow um alternative service, and that could either be by asking the court to, if you can verify what that individual lives, then you can simply ask them to post it on the door or the gate or wherever the case may be. But in this particular case, because don't nobody know where Jag lives, they have to do what's called a service by publication, citation by publication, where they have to post it in the newspaper for a number of consecutive weeks. And once that happens, then they can move forward with the litigated case. Now, for Texas, something happened, and I don't think either. the citation by publication was granted or it was not granted. But let's go ahead and read exactly what this memorandum by the federal judge in the Texas case stated. So it reads, and this is the memorandum opinion in order denying with prejudice. So that means that he can refile this. Now, if it was with prejudice, then he would not be able to refile it. But he is able to refile a motion saying, hey, um, can we please do citation by publication? So this is the memorandum opinion in order denying without prejudice order permitting service of process by publication. So it says plaintiff Brian Mcknight brings defamation claims against defendant Jaguar Wright based on videos that Wright allegedly posted to YouTube. In response to the court's July 30th, 2025 order advising Mcknight that its records reflect that plaintiff filed his complaint on April 30th, 2025, but service of summons and complaint have not been made on the defendant as there are no returns of service in the record, and that if such service is not accomplished by August 29th, 2025, the claims against defendant will be subject to dismissal without prejudice and without further notice absent good cause shown. So so it's not for him to refile his motion for citation for publication. It's just saying that they're going to dismiss the whole lawsuit just in Dallas without prejudice, meaning that he can refile over again. But I think it would probably be best is that if they find out where she lives first and then go through the process because you're just racking up funds at this point. The United States District Judge Karen Grin Scholar referred Mcknight's non-depositive motion to the undersigned United States Magistrate Judge. For the following reasons, Mcknight's motion is denied without prejudice. Pursuant to the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 4E1, a party may be served by the following state law for serving a summons. And Texas law allows for citation by publication when a party to a suit, his agent or attorney, shall make oath that the residence of any party defendant is unknown to affiant and to such party when the affidavit is made by his agent or attorney, or that such defendant is a transient person and that after due diligence, such party and the affiant have been unable to locate the whereabouts of such defendant, or that such defendant is absent from or is a non resident of the state, and that the party applying for the citation has attempted to obtain personal service of non resident notice as provided for in Rule 108, but has been unable to do so. The clerk shall issue citation for such defendant for service by publication. In such cases, it shall be the duty of the court trying the case to inquire into the sufficiency of the diligence exercised in attempting to ascertain the residence or whereabouts of the defendant or to obtain service of non-resident notice as the case may be before granted any judgment on such service. So pretty much was okay. The way this is supposed to work is before they even filed the motion for the citation by publication, they didn't even file a motion of not a motion, but an affidavit of non-service, letting them know, okay, we have done our due diligence, we have tried to serve this person, but therefore we cannot find an address. Now, it all depends on the judges. Everybody runs their court differently, and we have always ran into some judge that will really want to make it difficult. Like, look, we have all the documentation here. We can't find this person. We can't serve this person. The best bet would be to do citation by publication. But some judges are, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Okay. So in this case, I believe that the Texas case has been dismissed because I need to go check. You know what? Let me just check right quick. I'll check. I'm not gonna do that right now. All right. All right. So either it has been dismissed or it's on a dismissal docket because they failed to do what they were supposed to do. And they submitted the memorandum. So at the end of the day, the case is duped. So he will have an opportunity to refile in Texas, but best bet is that either the other two lawyers in Cali and Nevada, if they find the addresses before, shoot it over to Texas and then they can refile their lawsuit and so on and so forth. All right. So now going to Nevada and Texas. So the same thing. No, I'm sorry, Nevada and California. So what's going on in Texas is the same thing that's going on. I said the same thing that's going on in Texas. Yeah. The same thing that's going on in Texas is the same thing that's going on in Nevada and in California. So they are having trouble once again locating her. And if Texas got dismissed for or denied for their motion for citation by publication and it feared dismissal, these two cases will also um, will go away pretty much. I don't You can't go on with a litigated case if you can't serve the other party and let them know that they are in a lawsuit. Now, granted, we know Jag be on social media. We know she be on YouTube. So she knows she's been sued. But you think she's going to accept service? No. Just like her divorce in Dallas, that was dismissed because yeah, they couldn't find her. And then when he was supposed to do the default judgment, he didn't even do that right. And so the case was dismissed. So technically she's still married. Yeah, it's just whew. But anywho, let's get into this petition and see exactly what Mr. Brian Mcknight said about Miss Jag. As I said it before, all three petitions, Texas, Nevada, California, read the same thing. I'm just going to read the Nevada one because it was filed first. This defamation action arises from numerous videos posted on various social media platforms by Ms. Jacqueline Wright under the name Jaguar Wright. In the videos, Ms. Wright claimed that she is the cousin of Mr. Brian Mcknight. I did not know. Oh, ex-wife, Miss Julie Mcknight. Additionally, Ms. Wright made statements that Mr. Knight had been abusive to not only ladies of the night, but to his wife, Miss Julie Mcknight. The ladies of the night he had beaten up that my cousin caught him with just before that, and how he beat her up for catching him with that chick, and that he was a piece of ish father and he was an even worse husband. Those were the words of Miss Jacqueline Wright. Plaintiff Brian Mcknight is an individual and resident of the state of Georgia. For decades, he has been a prominent singer and songwriter in the R&B music industry, along with appearing in various TV shows and movies. Miss Jacqueline Wright is an individual who, upon information and belief, has in the past years resided in the state of Texas, Nevada, and California. Miss Wright is a neo soul singer, songwriter, and content creator. Since December 25th, 2022, Miss Wright had made numerous public statements on various video recordings that falsely implied that Mr. Wright was abusive to Miss Mcknight. I said Mr. Wright, that Mr. Mcknight was abusive to Miss Mcknight during their marriage, was a terrible husband and father, and would pay said Lady of the Night extra to allow him to physically harm them. So this is not saying that he's asking for 75,000. He's just saying that this case is at the minimum 75,000. Here are the facts. Ms. Wright verbally stated in various video recordings that were published to various social media platforms that Mr. Mcknight was physically abusive to Miss Mcknight and others. Mr. Mcknight's career began when he first signed the record deal with I can't even talk, Wing Records, and debuted his first album, Brian Mcknight, in 1992. Throughout the decades, Mr. Mcknight has recorded 17 studio albums, appeared in approximately 8 films, and numerous television shows. Mr. Mcknight has numerous hit songs to include, but are not limited to Love Is, One Last Cry, You Should Be Mine, Don't Waste Your Time, and Back at One. Mr. Mcknight's work has been nominated numerous times throughout the decades and has landed him an award with the NAACP Image Award for it's supposed to be outstanding male artist after releasing Back at One, and an award with Soul Train Music Awards for Best R&B Male Album for his album Anytime. Miss Julie Mcknight is a singer and an individual who knew and dated Mr. Mcknight during their youth. Mr. Mcknight was married to Miss Mcknight for 13 years from 1990 to 2003. During their marriage, two children were born, Brian Mcknight Jr. and Nico Mcknight. During the time Mr. Mcknight knew, dated, and then was married to Miss Mcknight, never did Mr. Mcknight meet, encounter, or become aware of Miss Wright's and her kinship with his wife, pretty much. Upon uh, belief and information at some point after Mr. Mcknight and Miss Mcknight separated, I'm just going to say his wife shared numerous false and defaming statements with Jaguar Wright, who has chosen specific time periods from 2022 through 2024 to spread false and defaming information. On or about December 25th, 2022, Jaguar Wright accessed her Instagram account to produce a live video stream to state false and defaming statements about Mr. McKnight. Miss Wright began her live video by informing those watching the live video that those who would later view the video of the music she was listening to, and then made the statement, "It's Christmas and I'm giving honesty and truth and gift. You know, after, oh, wait, as a gift this year." Miss Wright stated in her live video, "There's another a-hole I needed to say Merry Christmas to." Ms. Wright stated that she came to this conclusion after coming across a video on YouTube that was discussing Master P and Brian McKnight and exposing their ungrateful children. To which, after she discussed Master P, she began to discuss Mr. McKnight. Ms. Wright immediately stated her relationship to Mr. McKnight. His ex-wife is my cousin, Julie Mcknight Johnson, now Julie Johnson, followed by the statement that Miss Mcknight was the mother of Mr. McKnight's first children, and then proceeded to defame and ridicule him as a father. She's the mother of his oldest children, his first children. He is a piece of ish father, and he was even worse husband. And he was an even worse husband. There we go. As the live video continued, Miss Wright claimed to know things about Brian that most people do not know, but failed to acknowledge that she in fact did not know Mr. McKnight. Miss Wright continued the false statements in her live stream video, stating, "There was a pro in Philly, and I've spoken about her before. Her name, the dance, she danced by the name Paris. She was dancing at the Leela Downs Spring Garden in Delaware Avenue the same time Amber Rose was when she met Kanye West. Brian was one of my girlfriend. Wait, Brian? Wait, what? Brian was one of my girlfriend from high school clients. Oh, but see, the things that most people don't know is that Ninja got a real sick fetish because he used to pay her extra so that he could choke her out and punch her in her eye. What? And then he would just sit there and her and pow pow. Well, I shouldn't say pow pow, bow her, and then her, and then yeah, man, that's crazy. Sometimes I would go and pick her up after the call, and I forget the one time I came and picked her up after she had been with Brian, and it was just nuts. Her eyes were all black, lips sitting out. He loosened her tooth. Miss Knight knew, or should have known, these statements were false, but chose to state them in her public video. After McKnight was After Miss Wright made the false accusation that Mr. McKnight would physically abuse Miss McKnight and other women, Miss Wright attempted to support her narrative by stating, and then we found out later through my friend Yvonne Pearson, who is very, very, very good friends with my cousin Julia McKnight Johnson, found out that there was abuse going on in the home. Ms. Wright failed to verify if the statements provided by Mr. Giovanni Pearson were factual prior to sharing them in the live video. Now you done put up. See, here's the thing with defamation. You have to be very, very, very careful about what you put out on your social media. Now, even though I'm reading court documents, everything is alleged, and you see that because that's why they call them alleged claims. Everything is alleged until they have proof submitted to the court, viewed by the attorneys, and so on and so forth. But when you can't verify what you're saying and you're just throwing people under the bus and you're saying their names, now you done brought them in. To further defamatory statements of Mr. Mcknight, Miss Wright mocked one of Mr. Mcknight's well-known songs, Back at One. Mr. One, A Nightmare Come True. Two, Just to Be on You, Brian Mcknight. Oh, the Jag is wild. Miss Wright continued the false and defamatory statements in an effort to regain a positive image in the public eye. During the time span of 2022 through 2024, Ms. Wright experienced not only one public backlash for her allegations against other prominent individuals within the music industry, but also found herself in legal cases by these individuals. In the effort to continue her narrative and regain the attention of her public for her podcast, on or around May 1st, 2024, Ms. Wright released a video on YouTube that further defamed Mr. Mcknight as well as brought her false narrative back to the public's attention. During the video, Ms. Wright continued to make the same false and defaming statements regarding Mr. Mcknight that she had previously made in her Instagram live video on December 25th, 2022. In this video, Miss Wright begun by discussing The Grape by Ike on Tina Turner and then immediately compared it to Mr. Mcknight's hit song Back at One. Miss Wright made the notation that Mr. Mcknight hit song was not inspired by such admiring and loving events that the public believes inspired him, but was inspired by the complete opposite, or Brian Mcknight going into the studio and recording one is like a dream come true. And all, what a wonderful, great song. But if anybody knew about the lady of the night he had beaten up that my cousin caught him with just before that, and how he beat her up for catching him with that chick, and that's where the song came from. After Miss Wright made the statement, she realized she caught the attention of the fellow individuals in the live stream. And that was exactly Miss Wright's intention. After Miss Wright noticed that the individuals were now more interested in what she had to say, Miss Wright took the opportunity to turn Mr. Mcknight into a victim and hero. You know what she did instead? She started advocating for all his victims. Imagine that you're standing in the gap for and getting help for and protecting the women that your husband cheated on you with. Additionally, Ms. Wright furthered her false narrative that Mr. Mcknight was abusive when she made the false statement. Approximately 10 days later, on or around May 11th, 2024, Ms. Wright participated in an Instagram live stream with Mr. Pearson and two other individuals. Ms. Wright took the opportunity to again state her kinship with Miss Mcknight. Julie Mcknight Johnson is my cousin. She is my family, and I give a damn about what happens to her. Ms. Wright made the statement in an effort to gain the attention of viewers and to inform viewers that she held a relationship with Mr. Mcknight, one that she knew or should have known was not real. Immediately following Miss Wright's statements that she is Miss Mcknight's cousin, Miss Wright changed her vocal tone to one of disgust and stated, "Everything that ninja Mcknight put her through." In doing so, Miss Wright had made the effort to keep the attention of the viewers while insinuating through her tone that Mr. Mcknight had acted in an unacceptable manner towards Miss Mcknight. Again, Miss Wright took the opportunity to turn Mr. Mcknight into a victim and hero while running her narrative that Mr. Mcknight was an abusive husband. You know, it takes a strong woman to be able to get past your husband cheating on you, but it's a whole nother kind of animal when you go and save the woman that your husband cheated on you with from that husband. Imagine that you're sitting there looking at the woman who had X with your husband, and you're more concerned about her well being than your feelings. At this point in the video, oh, that's what they're saying. So Miss McKnight was the victim and a hero. Gotcha. So if I misread that, I'm sorry. So they're saying that Miss McKnight was a victim and a hero because she was trying to save the lady of the night as well. All right. So at this point in the video, Mr. Pearson spoke up about Miss McKnight's ability to handle the situation, a situation that had been fabricated by Miss McKnight, Mr. Pearson, and Miss Wright to defame Mr. McKnight. Julie has always been a queen throughout this whole situation, to which Miss Wright adds, she's been regal. Listen to me. If she had told the family what he was doing, one, it's like a nightmare come true. Two, we don't want to F with you. Three, and it's so planned to see that you're the biggest piece of ish, you a-hole. Boy, Jag is crazy. It is evident at this point in the video that Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, Miss Wright had gained the attention she sought and enjoyed defaming Mr. McKnight by spreading false statements. Before Miss Wright moved on to discuss and defame other individuals, Miss Wright again made the effort to spread her false narrative on how Mr. McKnight was inspired by his Back at One record. How he came up with that record because it didn't start with love, it started with abuse. Don't let those long songs fool you. I think that was supposed to be love songs fool you. Brian McKnight used to mess with a girl who was a professional me and her go back to junior high. He used to pay her extra so he could rough her up. For whatever reason, he couldn't rock it off unless she had a black eye. Whew, that's who you are, Brian. Child. Mr. McKnight's reputation and career suffered as a result of Miss Wright's false and defamatory statements. As a result of Miss Wright's false statements that Mr. Wright was abusive to Miss. See, they even messed this up. So, as a result of Miss Wright's false statements that Mr. Mcknight was abusive to Miss Mcknight, other women, and was a terrible husband and father, Mr. Mcknight's reputation and career sustained immense damage. As a singer songwriter herself, Miss Wright was well aware of the negative effect that the false and defamatory statements would have on Mr. McKnight's career. Mr. McKnight has endured issues securing venues for concerts to be canceled, and petitions for tickets not to be sold through the vendors. I'm very interested. He is coming to the state fair. He's going to be on stage on October 11th, I believe. I'm going to the fair that day to see how many people going to be near that stage singing his songs. I'm gonna see. I'm not even gonna be a fly on the wall. I'm just gonna be there eating and listen to him sing. Let's see. For years, Mr. McKnight had to endure the false and defaming allegations set out by Miss Wright. While Mr. McKnight was trying to continue his career, Miss Wright was pushing a false narrative about him in order to further her career. Now, what I do have to say about this is before Jag even said anything, I've always heard uh things about him being abusive to his children. So I don't think that Jag, now she may have added to him not being able to secure, venues for concerts and, things of that nature. But I don't think that she was the sole cause of him not, she's not the sole cause of his career crashing. Let me just put it that way. So let's see what he's suing her for. Defamation for the statement that she made on May 1st, her May 1st YouTube video. Let me see. She published a video on YouTube on May 1st, 2024. The video, which is still fully accessible, is available to the worldwide audience as the YouTube account is not a private account. Definitely got to go on there and figure out what she said. The video contained false and defamatory statements concerning Mr. Mcknight. Okay, so he's talking about how she just remixed the song back at one and stated that Miss Mcknight started advocating, um, well, that Miss Mcknight went back and said, try to help the girl, the chick that she caught him cheating on. She tried to go back and help her. That's crazy. And I guess that's why they said she's a victim and a hero. These statements are of concerning Mr. Mcknight, and he is Miss Mcknight's former husband, the person who Miss Wright claims to be the cousin of. Additionally, Miss Wright blatantly referred to Mr. Mcknight in these statements, and those who know Mr. Mcknight or watched his video knew the person Miss Wright was speaking about. So, yeah. So, defamation based off of what she said on May 1st. Then she turned around and made another video on May 11th. And I think that's what they meant to put there instead of saying May 1st again. So we need to look at the videos for May 1st and May 11th. Interesting. All right, so this is where she once again stated that Julie was her cousin, and she just said everything that he put her through if they would have known, and that it takes a strong woman to be able to get past the cheating. Ooh. Jag. Yeah. So it's only 2 counts of defamation for the May 1st and the May 2nd. I'm sorry, May 1st and May 11th videos. So as of right now, he's asking for compensatory damages not less than 75,000. So 75,000 is the minimum, and it has to be proven. So they're going to have to pull those videos, pull the transcripts, and see what constitutes as defamation. Now, mind you guys that you have tech so the Texas you have Texas, Nevada, and California. So the same laws or the same, how can I say this? Definition or the definition of defamation may not be the same in California than it is in Texas or Nevada. So a judge will have to review that and see. But the attorneys is going to have to come up with case law to support, okay, these specific statements are considered defamation under this particular statute and law. So this is going to be very, very interesting. So not only is he asking for compensatory damages, he's also asking for punitive damages to the maximum extent permitted by the laws in California and what is that, Nevada. If he refiles the case in Texas, it will be the same thing. He wants all his case expenses, attorney fees paid, and whatever the court deems appropriate, he's asking for that as well. Y'all. So that's it for right now. That is it. Y'all, I don't know. I might have to do a little part two so we can watch those videos. But I don't want to, watch something and give her any more credit. Sometimes I don't know, but overall, I don't think that she was the downfall of Brian Mcknight. The statements that she made that he deems is defamatory and false were made way after the comments and the press has put out as him being abusive to his children. So that is, yeah, I'm very interested to see what's going to happen in this particular case, being that they can't find her. And if they can't find her and serve her, the courts are going to have to dismiss this case. And it's not just dismissal in like, oh, Jag won. No, they just can't find her to give her a copy of the lawsuits. It doesn't mean that he won. He or she won. It's not a one up for Jag. It just simply means that they can't find her, so they can't serve her. Defamation cases are not taken lightly, as y'all can see with the Megan Thee Stallion case. Um, there's so many cases out there, so many defamation lawsuits out there. So, y'all tell me what y'all think about that in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, you all be blessed and I'm out. Bye.